Hello, happy Friday. I'm Nagaraj Annaiah, your Bay Area Realtor. Welcome back to today's real estate show, your trusted source for everything real estate, especially here in the Bay Area. I'm your host, Nagaraj Annaiah, Realtor, Investor, and your guide to navigating the world of property, construction, and home ownership. Today we have got a fantastic episode lined up because joining me is very special guest Naresh from ENT Bay Area, a well-known expert in construction and real estate development. We are diving into a topic that's on everyone's mind. How do we keep construction costs low? So Naresh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Naresh. Thank you for having me here. And then thank you, Bay Area Bali listeners. So happy Friday.
Listeners, if you have any questions on the Bay Area real estate, anything on the construction, you want to build a ADU, you don't know where to do it, what to do it, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877 Bali 92, 877-265-5992, 877-265-5992. The show is for you. Any questions, more than welcome. It can be smaller or anything. Any other questions also, you can give us a call. And anything on the Bay Area real estate. Naresh, like you have been in the Bay Area real estate and the construction world for a while, right? What are you seeing in terms of how high construction costs are impacting affordability today, right? Like, why do you think the construction cost is going so high?
Inflation, the first thing, and lack of having skilled trade workers. That's another thing. And then the other thing is the complicated designs in the construction drawings. That's another thing that I would say. The other thing, what I would say is the time delays in the construction process due to permits, approvals, and planning. That thing I would say.
So various factors are contributing, as you said, right? One is the starting from the application, the time of application. Forget about application, even finding an architect, right?
Correct.
Finalizing your plans. Once you finalize on the plans, then submitting to the city, getting a response from the city, and the delays between an architect and turnaround time within a city. Again, any corrections happens, any suggestions from the city to architect, it takes a whole lot of a time, right? That is one of the delays that we talk about, that right, like that is also one of the contributing factors. As an homeowner, as an investor, right, it delays the projects, right? Delays the project, your monthly payments, whatever stuff, it all adds up the price.
Correct. Definitely, yes.
Right. The second thing is the building materials. Right. I think before the building materials is even the construction cost, right? Like the amount of the laborers, shortage of the laborers, all this does it. So what are the alternatives we can think about it? How we can speed up, or how we can save as a homeowner? What are the ways they can do it?
So have a simple design in terms of construction, so not too much of complex design. And then if you are trying to do a remodeling project, so try to not touch any of the structural work.
That's a valid point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you are trying to build a new construction home, then try to get some kind of flat land, where you can actually build. If you buy anything that land has a sloped land, then that means additional pier foundation need to be done. So that could stretch a little bit more time, because those calculations, those drawings technically reviewed more in detail. And then try to buy a property. If you're trying to buy a property, try to buy a property where you have utilities, and then where you have at least for 30 to 40 feet road.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. And then make sure you have, if you're new buying a land, building a home, make sure you have what do you call the water, for the firefighters to work on it, right?
Okay.
The fire
Extinguishers or
fire extinguisher. So it is on site. And then make sure the design is very simple. Okay. And then also hire an experienced architect and engineer who can.
I think experienced architect and engineer who was experienced in that neighborhood or experience with the city makes a difference.
Correct.
Because if you are somebody hiring some architect or a contractor, because sometimes the contractors like you are an all-in-one, right? Like you have a design and a build construction company.
Correct.
So in that cases, you should have the local expertise, which makes a difference. Now let me touch upon the points. Ways to reduce your construction cost or like the build materials, which is very, very important. Listeners have some ideas on that, which are basically practically we have implemented also. And I would like to share how it's working out also. If you have, meanwhile, if you have any questions on the Bay Area constructions or anything on the Bay Area real estate, you can give us a call. We are live on a Bali 92.3. Our studio line numbers are 877 Bali 92, 877 Bali 92, or you can give us at 877 265 5992. One of the so what is your ideas to reduce the build materials, and I'll give some pointers on top of it.
Try to get if you're trying to buy in bulk, try to get the wholesaler where you can get a bulk price quote. Okay, unlike maybe take quotes from other.
Let's take up a call. Yeah. Hello, welcome to the show. Your name, please.
Yeah, hi, my name is Amit.
Yeah, hi Amit. Well, what's your question, please?
So my question is more related to, fixer-uppers and, investing some money in reno to bring it up to snuff. Now, obviously, in the Bay Area market, supply of good quality and decently priced homes is very, very low. But often I've been seeing, some fixer-uppers which have stayed on the market for some time. But I've been very, very hesitant to move forward because there's a lot of uncertainty about the amount of money that would be needed for reno and also timelines, permits, etc. But in general, do you advise that, those are things that one could consider unless I think they have a very high budget?
This is more of a buying a house and renovating, right? And keeping your cost less.
Yeah.
It's a valid thing to consider, but this is going to be a first house or a second house?
First.
Okay. The first house we always suggest to take like already ready house because it keeps it simpler for you. But if you already bought one house and second house when you're buying in, right, you really know what you need to do, or you really know what you want. Because the first house, anytime you do a fixer uppers or whenever you go and check the house, right, most of the human tendencies are you don't like the house normally. I've seen a lot of first time buyers, like they don't like the house as soon as even if I tell them the potential are there, they don't consider. Because there are construction loans available if you want to do a fixer up. Construction loans can be like as little as like up to around close to 8% to 9% we can get it. Construction loans are like there are ways to get your construction when you're buying a house itself, right? Recently one of my client bought a house with construction loan also. There are lenders who gives you construction loan when you buy a house itself. For example, you need to fix up the house, you tell them what is your budget or what is the amount you need, they give you a loan also when you're purchasing the price. Okay, but only as a homeowner or a first-time buyer, you need to know the vision, there's a potential in that property. Then you can make it happen. Otherwise, it becomes very hard. But there's a lot of potential. Reason I was telling you, the first-time home buyer might not be eased or like might not like it because the amount of money you're spending in also, right? It's a more towards like you're spending more down payments also. Like sometimes you get a loan also. If you don't get a loan, if you're putting all cash to make the house ready, that also might be kind of a pinch in a salt for you, right? Like that also makes a difference for you. But if you're open for it, there are a lot of fixer-upper, then the experts like Naresh, where he plays in the role, right? He can basically help you to do the remodeling of the homes also. And that can help you out also. But timelines you need to consider. Sometimes you need a 3 months or a 6 months or a 9 months. It depends on what is the length of the project would be. That is where the expert like me makes a difference for you. Like whenever you're looking for a fixer-uppers, right? I tell you, including with Naresh, I'll tell you what is the timeline when you want to fix up this house. Are you open for it? Even the fixer-upper homes, right, nowadays have become too much competitive. It is not easy to get a fixer-upper homes also, because fixer-upper homes sometimes are going more than the list price also.
That's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I definitely observed that as well.
yeah.
But no, like I have sort of entertained that idea, and I also work with some, state, all that. And one thing they have told me is that you could move into the home while the reno work is continuing, and that's something that I really want to, pressure test. Like in one of the cases, it was more like, hey, the home was slightly smaller. The other home was slightly smaller than what I need. And what the contractor told me is that you could move in, and if you want to build a second level, you can continue living. And I was really excited about that idea because that would mean that I don't have to continue renting.
Yes.
And that would save me that money while I buy and, and the reno work is continuing.
Yes. I think that's
But
right.
does that really happen that, if people can keep living in while the reno work is going on?
It depends on the extensive of the work, right, Naresh? Yeah. You are helping out a lot of clients right now like that.
So the problem what happens when you are living inside the home and then construction work is going on, it'll be not an easy thing. It'll be like a lot of challenges, in terms of when the construction is going on. If you are, for example, if you're working from home, it's not like a pleasant situation because you have like getting a lot of noise from the construction, and then the debris will be flying around when the construction is going on. And then also you just need, and I mean, of course, the construction it's not like a safe environment. It is little
hazards, but I think you're helping out some clients also where you build a kind of a temporary walls or like temporary covering so that it will not be, because recently you were helping out one of the client in the Milpitas where like you help them to do a 600 square footage addition, right? Correct. Where you help them to add, cover the kitchen area, cover all the living room area.
Correct. So we can do that one too. But the thing is, even though whatever is happening, even though how
always there's a pros and cons.
Yeah. But it can be done. It can be done, but safety first. Yeah. And then especially if you have kids, then just need to be extra cautious.
I think let me add one simple question to you, Naresh. Yes. When doing a remodeling, right? Why GFI or switches are very important, or the plugs are very important?
GFCI plugs, okay. So GFCI plugs are very important because it has a special mechanism inside. So its current is like a circuit, right? So whatever the incoming current goes, it has to deliver the same outgoing current, right? So if you have a load to it, so the load is taking some wattage, right? So if it detects without having a load, without having any load category is there inside, if there is a wastage of wattage, that means somebody is that is losing somewhere. Then potentially that GFCI mechanisms figure out that there is a potential electrocution that's happening, and then it trips right away.
That's why whenever just adding one pointer since we came into this, always when you are in your homes, make sure the GFCI switches are there or the outlets are there wherever it is necessary. That's why the contractors makes a difference, especially during the rainy seasons. The GFCI switches are not there in the outdoors. It's always a hazardous situations. Watch out for it. I think any other follow-up questions do you have for that? Hello?
No, that's super helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and best of luck for your journey.
And then GFCIs, you talked about GFCIs, right? Where do we need to have GFCIs? So GFCIs technically wherever there is some water prone areas, especially outdoor, that's main. And then the garages, you need to have GFCI, and then the kitchens, bathrooms, laundry areas, we need to have GFCIs for sure. Rest of the areas you can have.
The reason I got into attention is today is raining, right? I went into one of the construction areas. The contractor was getting the power from the non-GFCI place.
Correct.
Okay, which was completely wrong. Especially when it's a wet area, use the GFCI. Correct. It's always a life and death situation. Okay.
Correct.
Watch out for that, listeners. Like when you are also doing a construction, all the small things matters. Listeners, myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and I'm talking to Naresh from ENT Bay Area. And if you have any questions, would like to share any home improvements, or like you would like to share any exciting, or like if any concerns in the Bay Area real estate or a constructions related, you can give us a call. We'll take a quick break and we'll join you soon.
If you're a first-time home buyer, don't get overwhelmed navigating the market alone. Nagaraj Annaiah is here to make your dream of home ownership a reality with his dual expertise in mortgage and real estate, guiding you every step of the way. He'll find your perfect home within your budget and secure your best mortgage terms. Find your dream home today. Call Nagaraj Annaiah at 858-880-4577 or visit nagarajhomes.com.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to
Are
the
you
show.
on H-1B visa and wondering if you can buy a home? Yes, you can. With top realtor and mortgage expert Nagaraj Annaiah, you get the best of both worlds, real estate and financing, all in one place. No need to search for separate mortgage brokers or realtors. Nagaraj Annaiah makes the entire process simple, fast, and hassle-free. Call 858-880-4577 for a free consultation and let Nagaraj Annaiah help you buy your dream home today.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the show. Myself, Realtor Nagaraj Annaiah, and myself, I'm joined by Naresh from ENT Bay Area. If you have any questions, you can give us a call. Our studio line numbers are 877-BOLI-92, 877-BOLI-92. Naresh, I think let's touch upon that point, what we are continuing, right? Like, how do we keep your construction cost? I'm very excited to share a few findings, what I found out.
Okay.
You can share me if you have something first.
Okay. So basically, this is what I would think.
Okay.
There are material suppliers. If you're trying to buy in bulk, try to get quotes, try to go directly to the manufacturer. So that is one way. And then try to get bids from different manufacturers.
That's to a valid one, I'm telling you. I think it's a valid one. One is a bid. Bids are very important. Today I was getting a quote for a T-bar, right? One T-bar ceiling, one quote I got was a $10,000. I thought it's cheaper for the 2,500 square footage. $10,000. But later one more contractor gave me a $2,500. So multiple bids always matters. And one more thing, listeners, if you want to do it, if you're doing a construction costs in the bulk or a bigger projects, always look for Alibaba. Alibaba website, especially, right, has a lot of vendors around there. You can, it depends on the big scale. If you're doing for one or two doors, might not work out for you, but the doors, windows, and if like for example, you want to do some room additions and you would like to get the metal related, or if you want all the facade stuffs, all the roof metals, lot doors, interior doors, outdoor doors, windows, you say anything you can get it. Is the 10% or 15% whatever the Trump's thing will impact? No, I don't see. Right now, I was looking around, even with the 10% of an addition of the inflated stuff also, right, after the taxes, I still see, because I'm doing a construction from last 3 months, as we are doing together, right? We are noticing it, like even from getting it from Alibaba, prices are so cheaper, but only thing you need to be noticing is like, you need to wait for 2 to 3 months. Correct. Because it takes time. If you're doing in a hurry, it might not work out. But if you're doing it for like, have a time, 2 months, 3 months, then certainly look for Alibaba. They have a very good, but only thing is you need to find a right vendor. And if you're doing it like basically one more way, right, Naresh, like maybe you can order a container. Correct. Okay. The container, whatever, all the stuffs you are needed, just order it in one stuff. Like you find one shipping company, ask them to ship it to one container, get it. Maybe that might cost you less also.
Correct. Definitely. And then the other thing what need to be considered is whoever is ordering, homeowner or contractor, any other person, whoever is ordering, right? They need to know the specifications of the material.
That's valid.
Because the picture that can deceive you. For example, if you're buying a door, what is the thickness of the door? What is it made with? Whether it is painted or not. Okay, so you just need to consider, for example, if you're trying to buy a gate, a fence for your home.
I think that's also one valid one.
And then you just need to see what kind of thickness, what is the weight of it, you know, what thickness it is made with, what gauge of metal it is with, what actually metal, what is the compositions of the metal. So all these things, you know, you have to do your research. For example, you know, if you're comparing apples to apples, right, you need to compare an apple to apple, you know, it's not something apple to mango. Because the same way, you know, if you're buying some materials, right, just go check it out, what specifications, what is made of, you know, what is the weight of it, you know, what thickness is it, you know, how is the operation is, you know, what it has internally, what internal mechanism it is made with. So you just need to have the same configuration. If you're buying from Alibaba, hey, I want these things. I want this door, this thickness, this height, you know, this much weight. this type of pine wood that is made with, it has to be paintable material.
Yeah.
Okay. So all those
No,
things.
but as you said, if you get the right specs properly, I've seen sometimes the cost or like one out of like almost the lesser than 5 times, right? If it's costing $1,000 a year in Alibaba, it might cost you $100. Okay, that's what I've one tenth of that whatever the price is noticed. But only thing is you need to add the shipping cost. Shipping cost another 10%. If it adds also, it's almost 20-80% lesser for you.
Correct.
It does make a difference, but you need to know what you are doing in Alibaba.
Correct. Okay. Because especially in the same thing like buying clothes online, you don't know if it fit for you or not, right? Yeah. So you just need to do your research, try to go diving deep, and then try to figure out what it is made of. You need to do your homework and then order exactly the same materials. Let's say if you are doing a home construction, like you have multiple homes or a very big home, like 5,000 square feet, 6,000 square feet home construction, but I would say go to China. Go to China.
Go spend 1 month there.
Yeah, it's whatever the time you spend, you will definitely worth it. Yeah. You'll have like you can visit a special place. Yeah. You can get your materials. So all happy.
Yeah, I think even all with the tariffs world, whatever is right now is happening in around, right? But still, whatever the materials you're getting from the China, what I know is like prices are not impacted. Okay. Because it comes down to the common man who's getting impacted, right? Because the common man is always going and getting it from the local vendors. The local vendors, they need to ship it from you. They're getting from the China. Their prices are passed down to it. But as a common man, directly getting it from the China vendors, then the prices comes down. Okay, it is always we need to support the local things also, but it comes down what you need, right? Where is the expertise comes in, right? The expertise, the expertise is coming from there, the materials, because sometimes even most of this stuff, the local vendors also, right? They would have shipped from there,
correct.
They would pass on to here.
Definitely, that is the case, right? So not all materials are getting manufactured here, especially. Some of them are getting imported from other parts of the country, right? Other parts of the countries, other countries. So definitely, there is a good price.
It's my personal experience. After this tariffs also, right? I'm noticing if you're getting it from the Alibaba, the prices are almost, it's gone up a couple of thousands, but still it's a way cheaper getting it directly from there compared to getting it from the local vendors who have shipped it again. Because the local vendors would have got it from there, from other parts of the countries or the other parts of the world.
Correct. Other countries, parts of the other world,
So, listeners, do consider that. Today, like we were discussing about the ways you can look for the reducing your construction cost. And if you'd like to set up with a consultation with the Naresh from ENT Bay Area, do consider it. He has a wealth of expertise on the construction related, and he can guide you. I was talking to him before the show. So he was helping out one of my known client. 800 square footage or 900 square footage addition, right? And the price what my clients have got is very good price for the 900, and on top of it, the quality. What you provide, right? That's what you can see around.
Correct. So is this at the same time without compromising the quality?
Yeah. And I think one more is the compliance, very, very important. Especially the most neglected part is the electrical, plumbing, mechanical. These are the three things that needs to be done whenever you're doing any construction. Correct. Any of the three things goes wrong, the whole house. Today we saw what's happening in Thailand and Myanmar, right? Like what's happening in the earthquake, how it shook it. So listeners, if somebody wants to contact Naresh, how they can contact Naresh?
Yeah, they can reach me at my phone number 510-324-6588, or they can go into my website www.ntbayareaconstruction.com, and then they can write me their question, send them their information, so I'll definitely contact them.
Yeah, listeners, if you want to sell, buy, or any investment on the Bay Area real estate, if you have any second question or second thought, whom to reach out, don't worry about it. It's always about Nagaraj Annaiah. Reach out to Nagaraj Annaiah so that I can guide you, which is better for you, so that you can build your wealth, build your future always. If you want to contact me, go to nagarajhomes.com and click on a WhatsApp icon, or you can call me at 858-880-4577. It's 858-880-4577. And have a wonderful evening out there. Thank you so much.
We know you. Okay, great.